Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So in our previous class we have been discussed about the megasporogenesis. So today's class let us discuss about the difference between the microsporogenesis and the megasporogenesis. So what is the difference? It will comes in the microsporogenesis and megasporogenesis, which is one of the most important question for your exam, which will comes for your 5 marks question. It is one of the important question, most important question. So let us discuss this difference between the microsporogenesis and megasporogenesis. So first difference in the microsporogenesis is it is the process of formation of microspores from the microspore mother cells through meiosis is called as microsporogenesis. Yesterday itself as I said here, micro means small, mega means big. So the gametes which will be produced in the male body, so it will be in a very small in condition. So that's why the name we have been given it as a micro. So microsporogenesis, it is a process where what happen here is from the microspore mother cells, the microspores it will be produced. And how this process it will be held means it will be held through the cell division, called it as a meiosis. In the same manner, say here the megasporogenesis here. So megasporogenesis it will occurs in the female body, it will be occurs. So it is a process formation of a megaspore from the megaspore mother cells through meiosis cell division. So same definition it will come for this one and for this one. Just what the difference it will come means, so here the microspores it will comes here the megaspore it will come. So the difference it will make this much only, it will that all the sentence will be same. The process of formation of here microspores, here the megaspores, here microspore mother cell, here megaspore mother cell it will comes, and here also meiosis, here also meiosis. So in both the cases through the meiosis cell division only formation of a new gametes it will be take place here, and that gametes what we are calling it as a megaspore, and this one we are calling as a microspore. This is the first difference between the microsporogenesis and megasporogenesis. Next difference, it will occurs inside the microsporangium. So where it will be occurs, this microsporogenesis where it will take place means it will take place inside the microsporangium. Microsporangium means what here? Microsporangium means anther. Where it will be this process it will be held. This process it will be held in the anther. As you know very well in our previous classes we have been just discussed the structure of the anther. So this is the anther. Inside this anther, this microsporogenesis process it will be held, and where this process it will be appear means this process it will be occurs inside the ovule. Where the ovule it will be present means ovule it will present inside the ovary. So this is the female part, this is the stigma, as you know very well. This is the style, and this is the swollen portion. What we are calling means we are calling it as a ovary we are calling. So this is the ovary style, and this is stigma. So where this ovule will be present means ovule will present inside this structure. So where the ovule will be present, ovule will present inside the ovary. So megasporogenesis where it will be take place means megasporogenesis it will take place inside the ovule. So where the ovule will be present, ovule will present inside the ovary. So this is the ovule, this structure which is present, this structure we are calling it as a ovule, and where this process it will be held means it will take place in the microsporangium. It will be take place inside the microsporangium. It will occurs inside the ovule, or else even you can write it as a megasporangium also you can write here. So mega structure of megasporangium you have been studied now in our previous class. As I said here, which is one of the most 100% guarantee question for your exam. Megasporangium, anatropous ovule we haven't discussed. So even we are going to say megasporangium. This it will be occurs in the microsporangium, this it will be occurs in the megasporangium or ovule it will be present. Now next difference here, many microspore mother cells are differentiated here. So in this case here many microspore mother cells will get differentiated here. So that means here many mother cells will be present here. So as you know very well, just now I said you here, so megaspores are microspores where how it will be produced means microspores it will be produced from the microspore mother cells it will get produced. Microspores from where it will be produced, microspores it will be produced from the microspore mother cells. Now in the microsporogenesis many micro mother cells will be present. Balla ke microspores mother cells will be present here. So many microspores, many means many number, many more than one microspore mother cells will be present here, and all these microspores mother cells what they'll do here means they'll undergo this process here. here. So assume that these are all are the microspore mother cells. Who are all means these are all are the microspore mother cells. Not only one it will be present, many microspore mother cells will be present, and all these what they are doing is they are undergoing the meiosis cell division, and for all the what they are producing, they are producing the 4 megaspores they are producing. In the same manner this will also 1 2 3 4 like this. In the same manner this will also like this. So like that many microspore mother cells will be are differentiated in microsporangium inside the anther. So how many mother cells will be present here means, so many microspore mother cells will be present, whereas in this case here megasporangium only one megaspore mother cell will be present, whereas in case here, so how many it will be present, only one megaspore mother cell will be present. So this is the megaspore mother cell, and this megaspores it will undergoes the meiosis cell division and it will produce the 4 megaspores it will produces. So that's why here how many it is present here, here only one megaspore it will be present, but here how many it is present here, here many microspore mother cells will be present. This is another difference between the microspores and the megaspores it will find here. Next difference here, microspore mother cells produces microspore tetrad here. So what they are telling him is microspore mother cell, these are all the microspore mother cells, they are undergoing the meiosis cell division and they are producing the microspores. They are producing how many microspores, tetrad here. So as I mentioned you here, one microspore mother cells it is producing how many microspores, 4 microspores. So that's why we have mentioned here 4 as here, what here means tetrad. 4 means what here, tetrad here. So how many microspore mother cells produces, microspores tetrad it will produces 4 microspores it will produce, and all these things it will be present in this manner. So as I said you, I have shown you in my previous class also, this is the microspore tetrad it is present, microspore tetrad. So the microspore mother cells it has produces the 4 microspores it is produces. Which are those 4 means 1 2 3 and 4. These are the 4 microspore she has a microspore mother cell she has been produced here, and they are present in a tetrad manner. So as I said 1 2 3 4 and all they will be attached to each other, later they will get separated here. So this is we are calling it as a microspore tetrad we are calling, whereas in case of megaspore mother cell produces linear tetrad of megaspore. So in this case what happens means the megaspore mother cell produces the 4 tetrad 4 megaspore tetrad 4 megaspore it is producing, 4 megaspore tetrad it is producing here, but in which condition means it is producing in linear condition. So as I said you here, so here this is the linear manner. So megaspore mother cell, which is the megaspore mother cell, this is the megaspore mother cell, it is producing how many means 4 megaspore it is producing, which is in a tetrad condition. So all these 4 we are calling as a megaspore tetrad. So it is producing in a linear manner, linear means like this straight manner it is producing. So that is the difference here. So here microspore mother cell produces microspore tetrad, here also megaspore produces a linear tetrad megaspore it is producing. Here also 4 we are getting, here also 4 we are getting, but this is microspore and this is megaspore. So but here what here means it is producing in a linear manner it is producing. So that's why megaspore mother cell produces linear tetrad of a megaspore they are producing. And next last difference, all the 4 cells of tetrad are functional here. So how many cells they are getting, how many microspores they are getting means they are getting the 4 microspores they are getting, and all these 4 will also be in a functional in condition in case of a microsporogenesis, whereas in case of a megasporogenesis 4 tetrad megaspores will get here, but all these 4 will not be in a functional condition. So 3 megaspore will get degenerated, whereas only 1 it will be in a functional in condition. As I said you in my previous class here, like this 4 megaspores will get here. So among that here upper 3 which are present in the microfilar end it will get degenerated, only 1 it will becomes in a functional in condition, whereas in case of a megasporogenesis, but in case of microsporogenesis 4 will also be in a what here means 4 will also be in a in which condition here, functional in condition. So that is the difference between what here means microsporogenesis and megasporogenesis it is present. So see here, so in this microsporogenesis 4 also it will be in a which condition, 4 will also be in a functional in condition, but as I said you here, in megasporogenesis 3 megaspore degenerate, whereas only 1 megaspore it will be in a functionally condition. So this is the difference between what here means microsporogenesis and megasporogenesis. So once again I will repeat it here. So that it is a process of formation of microspores from the microspore mother cells through meiosis. So same definition it will come, just you have to change here, instead of microspores you have to write the megaspores here, and here instead of microspore mother cells you have to write the megaspore mother cells. This will also produce through the meiosis, and this will also produce through the meiosis. Next, where it will be occurs means it will occurs inside the microsporangium, that is nothing but anther, and where there it will be produced means it will produce inside the ovular megasporangium, and where this ovule it will present means it will produce inside the ovary. So here microspore mother cells it will be many. So many microspore mother cells will be present, and all these many microspores they'll undergo, they'll produce as their own 4 microspores they will produce as like this. How many are there? All they will produce undergoes this process. So that's why how many microspore mother cells are there? Many microspore mother cells are there. Here only 1 megaspore mother cell will be present. Only one it will be present, which will produce as the 4 megaspores it will be producers. In this case here 4 microspores we will get here. That is nothing but 4 microspore tetrad we will get here from the microspore mother cell. Here also how many we will get here? 4 megaspores we will get here, but they will produce in the which form here means they will produced in the linear manner. And here with the 4 which we have got here, all they will be in a functional in condition, but in this case so 3 will be they are degenerated here, whereas 1 it will be in a functional in condition, and later this one it will develop into a embryo sac, it will develop, which will be present inside the anatropous ovule. So this is the difference between microsporogenesis and megasporogenesis, which is the most important question for your exam. Without forget everyone you have to read this one, anatropous ovule, and this is the most important question for your exam. So next we will go to the next topic, that is nothing but pollination. Next is pollination. So pollination means the transfer of pollen grains from anther to the stigma of the pistil is called as pollination. What is the main definition of the pollination? Means transfer of pollen grains. Where the pollen grains it will present? Pollen grains it will present in the anther. So this is the structure of what here? This is the structure of the anther. So transfer of pollen grains. So these are dots which I mean mentioned here. These are all nothing but here they are the pollen grains. So transfer of pollen grains from anther to the stigma of the flower. So which is the stigma? This is the stigma. Stigma, this is style, and this is ovary. So transfer of pollen grains from anther to the stigma of the pistil, stigma of a pistil. Which is the pistil? This is the pistil. Stigma of the pistil is called as pollination. Now why pollination it is essential? So pollination why it is essential means pollination it is very essential because in flowering plants both the types of gametes are non-motile. So even the pollen grains is also non-motile, and even the what means inside this ovary the egg which is present, so this is also it will be in a non-motile in condition. So where the egg it will be present? Egg it will present inside the ovary. Inside the ovary where it will present? It will present inside the ovule. So this structure we are calling it as a ovule. This structure what we are calling? We are calling it as a ovule. Inside the ovary it contains the ovule. So transfer of pollen grains. Why the pollination it is essential means because pollen grains and stigma. So both pollen grains and the pollen grains and the egg, both they are in a non-motile in condition. Both the types of gametes are non-motile in condition. So that's why pollination it is necessary. They may ask in your exam question why pollination is necessary. If they ask me, because in flowering plants both the types of gametes are non-motile. So they have to bring together for fertilization. If we want to bring together for the fertilization means pollination it is needed. So that's why pollination it is most important. And where the egg it will be present means egg it will present inside the ovule. Where ovule it will present means ovule it will present inside the ovary. So this is about the pollination. Now next let us go for the types of pollination. So there are 3 types of pollination. So depending on the source of the pollination here. So depending on the source of pollen, so pollination is divided into the 3 types here. So depending on the source of pollination, how we are getting the pollen grains here, on that basis pollination has been divided into the 3 types. Which are those means? One we are calling it as a autogamy, self-pollination. Another one we are calling it as a gnetogamy, and third one we call it as a xenogamy. Xenogamy even we are calling it as a allogamy. So these are the 3 types of pollination pollination on the basis of the pollen grains here, on the basis of the source of pollination. So how we are getting the source means how the availability of the pollen grains here, how we will get the pollen grains. On that basis we have been classified into the three types here: autogamy or self-pollination, gnetogamy, and another one is the xenogamy or allogamy. So this is about the types of pollination. So we have been discussed what is the meaning of pollination. Pollination is nothing but transfer of pollen grains from anther to the stigma of the flower is called the stigma of the pistil is called as pollination. Why pollination is necessary means because both the gametes here, which gametes? Pollen grain is one gamete, another one egg is one gamete. Where the egg it will present? Egg it will present inside the ovary. Inside the ovary, where it will present? It will present inside the ovule. So already we have been discussed this structure and the anatropous ovule. Inside the ovule it contains the antipodal cells, two synergic cell and one egg and two polar nuclei present. So like this the egg it will be present. So this complete structure we are going to as a embryo sac. We are calling it as a, so here the egg it will be present. So where the egg it will present inside here. So this egg is also in a non-motilin condition. Pollen grains will also be in non-motilin condition. So that's why if we want to go for the fertilization means, so what it is needed? We needed the pollination. So three types. Let us discuss this three types. So three types we are taking one by one. First let us go for the autogamy or self-pollination. So what is the meaning of autogamy or self-pollination? Let us discuss. So autogamy or self-pollination. So definition for this autogamy is the transfer of pollen grains from anther to the stigma of the same flower is called as autogamy. Auto means what? Auto meaning self. So even the autotrophs we have been discussed. Auto to whom we are connected as a autotrophs means the plants we are connected as a autotrophs. Why plants we are connected as a autotrophs means because they are preparing their own food. So they are preparing their own food. So that's by themselves they are preparing the food. So that's why we are connected as a auto. So the main meaning of auto is nothing but here self. What is the meaning of auto means self. So that's why here pollination means the autogamy is nothing but self-pollination. Selfly they are going for the pollination. So transfer of pollen grains from anther to the stigma of the same flower. So this is the anther, this is the anther and this is the stigma. So same definition will come. So transfer of pollen grains. Pollen grains are transferring to the stigma of the flower. So this is the stigma of the flower. So of the same flower. So which type of flower here? Same flower. So this is the complete structure of the flower. So this which type of flower this is? This is a bisexual flower. So here male part is also present, female part is also present. So these are the male parts and this is the female part. So in a single flower, both male and female part if it is present, in such flowers, so autogamy it will be held, self-pollination it will be taken place. So that's why here this self flower, same flower, it will give the definition for this autogamy. So if you written just like this means that you will lose your marks. You have to mention the same flower. So transfer of pollen grains from anther to the stigma of the same flower is called as autogamy. So why autogamy is favored when the autogamy it will be held. Favored, autogamy is favored means what here means when the autogamy it will be held means when the flower is bisexual in condition. When the autogamy or self-pollination it will be held means in the flowers if the flowers are bisexual in condition. Bisexual means what here? Bisexual means both male and female parts it will be present in this only. Both male and female part it will present in this portion only in the same flower. So yes, in the plenty of flowers. In some flowers, what a male part will also be same here. Female will also be there. And example here hibiscus. In your hibiscus, stigma will also be present in the flower and anther will also be present in the flower. So such type of flower we are calling it as a bisexual flower. We are calling. So the autogamy is when it will be paired means in which type of flowers autogamy or self-pollination will be held means the flowers which is in a bisexual in condition. In bisexual flowers autogamy or self-pollination it will be taken place. Next synchronization in the release of pollen and stigma respectively. Synchronization means what? So synchronization means occurs at the same time here. Suppose here in the bisexual flowers if the pollen and stigma both they will release us the same time the gametes here. So that time also what happen means it will help for the autogamy. So when the autogamy held take place here means if the flowers should be in a bisexual in condition, if the flowers are in bisexual condition means that time there is a chances or possibility of the sexual autogamy or self pollination. And next when the chances here means if the synchronization is the same time here, that means here so the occurs at the same time. Synchronization is nothing but here at the same time if the pollen grains will also be released, anther will release the pollen grains and stigma will release as the egg at the same time means, so that time also what happens means there is a chances of what happens self pollination. This is the second chance here. So in this time also, in this case also autogamy it will be held. Next to third time what happens, anther and stigma lies close to each other and attains maturity at the same time here. Next to third time what happens, anther and the stigma both they will be lies close to each other, close to each other. They are not present far to each other, they are present close to each other. If this anther and stigma lies close to each other and attains maturity at the same time, anther will also mature at the same time and even the stigma will also mature at the same time means that time so pollen grains also releases anther will release as the pollen grains and this ovule it will release as the egg here, both at the same time only. So that time also there is a chance of getting the self pollination. So what happens is maturation, you know very well here. So male, whether it may be a plants or whether it may be a animals here. So when there is a chance of releasing the gametes means only after the maturation. So in the flower anther is also present, stigma is also present, but what happens is anther it will mature one time and stigma it will mature another time means that time there is no chances of the chances of autogamy is less here. If both they will mature at the same time means that time there is a chance of what autogamy. So that's why another type when there is a chance getting for the autogamy here means anther and stigma they are first of all both they lies together and along with that what means if they mature same time here, anther will also mature at the same time and even what happen here means for this stigma ovary also matures at the same time means stigma will also mature, that means female part will also mature at the same time means that time what happens is there is a chance of going for the self pollination because if the pistil mature here means that time there will be formation of egg it will be taken place, then that time it will there is a chance of going for the self pollination. In these three cases here there is a chance of what happens is self pollination. So autogamy is favored means when it is possible for the self pollination, when the autogamy it is possible means in these three cases. If the flower it is in bisexual condition then there is a chance of what is self pollination. If the pollen the anther will releases the pollen grains and stigma will releases the egg at the same time means that time also there is a chance of self pollination. And third chance here means if anther and stigma both they are close to each other and even what happens in maturation it will take place in the same time here means, so that time there is a chance of self pollination. These are the three chances here for the self pollination. Examples here, Viola, oxalis, so these are camelina, so Viola, oxalis, camelina, so these are all are the examples for what here means, so autogamy. So in these plants we will find the flowers here. So in these plants will produce two different type of flowers. So what means Viola, oxalis, camelina, these produces the two different types of flowers. Which are those two different type of flowers means one type flower we are called as a chasmogamous flowers, another type we are called as a celistogamous flowers. So these plants they produce the two different type of flowers. Which are the two different type of flowers means one we are calling as a chasmogamous flowers, another one we are calling as a celistogamous flowers we are calling. So what is the meaning of chasmogamous flower means these are the flowers which having the exposed anther and the stigma. Chasmogamous flowers are nothing but these are the flowers which is having the exposed anther and stigma. These flowers the flowers will be above the soil here and they'll produce the stigma and the anther will be in exposed in condition. So that's the first type of flowers we are what we are calling means we are calling it as a chasmogamous flowers. Example they have been given in your textbook also here. See this is the plant here. So these are the two types of flowers it is producing. So this is the chasmogamous flowers here. So the flowers it is present above the soil, they are present and they are in a opened in condition, so that the stigma and the anther it will be in a exposed to the air. So that's why this type of flowers we are calling as a chasmogamous flower we are calling. Another type is a celestogamous flower it is present. These flowers will present inside the soil, they will be present. So this type of flowers we are calling as a celestogamous flowers. So example, say another type is celestogamous flower. Flowers which do not open at all, closed flowers. In such flowers, anthers and stigma are close to each other. So these flowers they will be present inside the soil. So celestogamous flowers where they will be present, celestogamous flowers will present inside the soil. So chasmogamous flowers will present above the soil. See, this is the plant here. So these plant they are showing the two different type of flower. This is one type of flower. This is one type of flowers. See here, these are all are the flowers. This flower it will be in a open in condition. So that's why the anther and the stigma it will be in a exposed in condition it will present. So that's why even they have been mentioned in your textbook also. See, chasmogamous flower we are calling. Another one is the celestogamous flower. So these flower they present inside the soil, they are present and always they will be in a closed condition. Flower will not be in a open in condition. Flower it will be in a closed condition. So that's why celestogamous flowers they will be in a closed condition, and inside that what type of this flower they will not open only. This flower they will not open, always they will be in a closed condition. So these flowers we are calling as a closed flowers, and inside these flowers the anther and the stigma they lie close to each other. So anther and the stigma, anther and stigma both they lies to close to each other, because here pollination it is not possible, they are present inside the soil. So that's why what happens is anther and stigma they lies close to each other, so that as soon as the anther and the stigma they will get mature here, what happen here means automatically pollination it will be held. Automatically the pollen gas it will falls on the stigma directly and the pollination it will be taken place. And such type of flowers we are calling as a celestogamous. Example in your groundnut flowers, groundnut. So groundnut plant also what type of flowers they contains means they contains the celestogamous flowers only. That flower will convert into the fruit. That fruit we are calling as a groundnut we are calling. So groundnut is one type of a fruit. So where the fruit part we are throwing and seed part we are consuming. So inside that the seeds it contains, that seeds we are consuming. Phalli ke binja. So that is a seed that we are consuming. Upper the layer which is present, that is a fruit. Chilka that we are throwing. That complete structure we are calling as a fruit we are calling. And that it will be produced from the celestogamous flowers only. Inside that they contains the flower. That flowers always it will be in a closed condition. So this is the diagram which has been mentioned in your textbook. So two types of flowers we will find, and they are undergoing what happens. Two types of flowers. One is the chasmogamous, another one is the celestogamous. Flowers which do not open at all. They will not open only. Always they will be in a closed in condition. So that's why that type of flowers what we are calling as a closed flowers we are calling. So here in such type of flowers anther and stigma lies close to each other. So this is about here what name is autogamy here. Next let us go to the second type here, that is geatonogamy. So this we will discuss in a later class.